There's a lot, and I mean a lot going on with the Texans. A lot of uncertainties, a lot of wild things going on and off the field. But the one thing that might be the most certain might be what puts this team over the top. Let's go inside the locker room, another night edition.
You know what it is. Let's get it. Hey, locker room. Yeah, we in the locker room. Texas talk. Yeah, you know what we about to do. Localize every angle's what we really do. We the source, we the pulse of the city too. Landlocked, got the game in the headlock. Localize every time, can't stop, won't stop. Yeah, we top two and we not too. Plugged in daily digital on YouTube. We got taste for days, opinions to give, we got takeaways. If it's up, then it's up, we number one.
All right, it is the locker room, number one source for Texans digital content. Welcome back to another night edition. We do this nightly, Monday through Friday. Appreciate everyone for coming through. Be sure to subscribe, like, ride along for the best Texans coverage in the entire country. We usually go live about twice a day, videos throughout. Today, the Texans were off, so we didn't have any on-field action, nothing really to report there, but there is a hell of a lot going on. I want to talk about I want to start this off, perhaps the most certain position with the Texans as decision time approaches, and that's the tight end position. And I think it's safe to say, and the question I'll ask here as we talk about the state of the Texans tight end position is tight end the most certain position group on this roster? In other words, wide receiver, we can still debate who's going to be on the back end once they make the decisions. Running back, we've done that. Offensive line, who the hell knows? D-line, decent grasp. Linebacker could go a number of ways. Corner, uncertainty. Safety, pretty much have a good idea there. But tight end, I think, is pretty much set. Dalton Schultz, the gaming bro, is going to be your starting tight end. Brevin Jordan is going to be tight end too. They're probably going to find other ways to use him. And then you're going to have Cade Stover, the rookie out of Ohio State, 4th-round pick is 3. And then Andrew Beck, who could be a fullback. He could be your 4th guy. So the tight end position is pretty set right now. And NF is right. Subscribe, like, ride along. Best Texans coverage in the country. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Let's hear from Brevin Jordan first. Brevin Jordan is an interesting case study. If you look at just the way in which Brevin Jordan's career has gone heading into year 4, year 1, really not much going on there. Couldn't stay on the field. Year 2, body transformation, showed some things, but not a lot. Year 3, you thought he was battling to make the team. He gets hurt. They still show faith in him. And then Brevin Jordan goes out there, does his thing relatively. Like they showed some things, and now he's just kind of one of the vets with the same personality that he's always had. Let's hear from Brevin Jordan. This was after the game. Caught up with him for about a minute, just asking him how he's feeling after missing a little bit of time. Here's Brevin Jordan talking about that.
Yeah, I missed the last 2 weeks trying to get my body right. You know what I'm saying? So just little errors, little stuff. Trying to just get my feet wet. Obviously, but feel good, man. I mean, I got a lot to improve on. For me, I made 2 catches, obviously, but that holding call, like shit like that, man, I can't do. You know what I'm saying? So just clean up the technique. That's why we have preseason.
You're you're a vet now. For media type like me, I'll be honest, I look at the last preseason game. I'm like, damn, that's a big ass gap between the start of the season. Do you kind of start to feel that way a little? Are you ready for Indy already?
I'm ready for Indy, man, for sure, man. Bobby said it to me today, actually. He was like, man, I can't wait for week 1. Like, just hyped, you know what I'm saying? Just ready, because once the starters went out, it was like, all right, we got to support the guys, but you feel me? Like, everybody want to play. Everybody want to be out there. So right now, we just looking forward to just stacking brick by brick, day by day. Then when the Indy comes, we'll be ready.
I won, by the way. They marked you a yard short. I thought you got
I thought I got the first 2, but it's whatever. It's preseason.
But the body's good. You're feeling good?
Body's good. Mind's good. Everything's good, man. I'm ready for week 1.
All right, appreciate you.
All right, there you go. That's Brevin Jordan. We'll hear from the gamer bro in a sec, a.k.a. Dalton Schultz. There's a lot of stuff going on. Cal McNair, he's doing this again. Is it becoming a little bit much with Cal McNair? J.J. Watt gets some love from a fellow AFC coach. Shots fired from Tennessee. Tennessee, some shots fired, some interesting ones. I really don't get this. Actually, friends of the show, enemies of many. But I don't know what the hell this was. And one of the local media types, he tried to judge the food that the Texans are putting at NRG. Before we do that, though, let's hear from Dalton Schultz, aka the Gamer Bro, and just look at this guy. I mean, just look at this dude, man. Come on, dude. This guy, he's up to something. Let's hear what Dalton Schultz had to say, aka the Gamer Bro, Dalton Schultz. Let me hit some of that first, though.
High-grade marijuana called Kush on the street.
All right, here's Dalton Schultz.
I may have heard D'Amico say there are times when he'll show the tape and say, hey, man, let's not take these throws from CJ for granted. Are there throws that he makes that really grab your attention as a veteran who's seen a lot of this?
Yeah, all of them. Kid can throw. Kid can throw the best of them.
Somebody who takes,
I want to hear that again. I want to hear that again.
He'll show the tape and say,
Bailey is. Shout out to Greg Bailey. I love Greg Bailey, man. Great guy. But he's trying to get like some sort of magical generic quote about CJ Stroud. And Dalton Schultz he is such a bro.
Say, hey, man, let's not take these throws from CJ for granted. Are there throws that he makes that really grab your attention as a veteran who's seen a lot of this?
Yeah, all of them. Kid can throw. Kid can throw the best of them.
Somebody who takes safety serious, you wear a cute collar. Could you foresee a time where more players are wearing the Guardian caps in games?
Maybe with everything like innovation, as the data comes out, like guys will feel safe. I think you already see people, out there wearing them in some of the preseason games. And it's not too out there to think that. It's kind of just dependent on who you talk to, I guess.
Does it feel heavier?
Yeah.
On that?
Yeah.
How much heavier? You can describe it.
It's different. It's like, I don't know how much exactly, but like you feel the difference for sure.
Does it slow you down at any?
That's hard to say. I'd say like, I don't know if they do anything different for game days, but there's some times where like it'll pop off and like, you're running a route and like a hand gets up and knocks it off. Like it'll block your vision and like just some stuff like that. But I think they're great.
Bobby said in an interview recently, getting you back was a really important piece. He kind of felt like you were a key to opening up some of the things that they do as an offense. Do you feel that? Did you feel that last year? Do you feel that kind of again this year, that kind of your role and how important the tight ends can be to making things go for this offense?
All I'm trying to do is just be consistent. I know the challenges that's put on defenses with a scheme like ours and honestly a receiving core like we have. So I'm just trying to be available. Like I've said that from the time I've got here. Like I got with CJ very early, and I was like, I started to try to build that trust, and that's something I'm just trying to keep building with him. And I think just having a guy that he can count on, that's all I'm trying to be.
CJ's mentioned a couple of plays that, like, maybe without being told, you kind of, I think he used the Tampa Bay example, maybe you took a route a little bit deeper that opened some things up for Tank. Like, do you feel like that's even a deeper connection now this year because you have your back, you played so much football together?
Yeah, and I think early, just like he was a guy that I could tell pretty early from the conversations that like he knows ball. Like he understands football from just a big picture scale. And so some of those things, it's like, I didn't necessarily hear what he wanted, but like, I knew he was trying to say something, and it's like, we just found a way to be on the same page by just seeing the same picture on the back end. And so things like that some of them aren't necessarily like planned all the time, but like when you're able to just get on the same page and make it right, however it is, that's special when you have a quarterback that can do that.
A lot's been said about you all acquiring Stephon Diggs, but you also getting Tank Dell back on the field. How
how does having those two on the field open things up for you?
It's big, dude. Like whenever you have
Big
like
dude.
vertical threats, like teams drop deeper. Linebackers now their hook drops are 12 yards instead of 8. Like it affects everything. When they feel that like vertical push, the guys are trying to stay on top. And when you got
A lot has been said about you all acquiring
It's big, dude.
Stephon Diggs, but you're also getting Tank Dell back on the field. How does having those two on the field open things up for you?
it's big, dude. Like whenever you have like vertical threats, like teams drop deeper. Linebackers now their hook drops are 12 yards instead of 8. Like it affects everything. When they feel that like vertical push, the guys are trying to stay on top. And when you got 2 burners, when you add Nico to that mix, like so 3 guys can stretch the field, man. So it opens up stuff underneath sometimes and certain coverages. And honestly, like it creates space for us in the backs. And like I love having it because it's playing our defense is like hard in practice because like they're in your hip all the time, whether they're zone or man. It's like it's frustrating. And then you get to some games and it's like teams are just spot drop and you feel that space. You know what I mean? And so it's very beneficial for sure.
Was that evident in that play that you all were backed up on the goal line and you made the big catch going across the field?
I mean, you guys, you guys see it. Like, it's just it's different philosophies, man. Like, there's teams that spot drop, teams that man. Like, and again, it's like you can't. It's hard to cover all that space, dude. And you have a quarterback that can sit from his own end zone and back there and just deal. It's hard to defend.
What have you seen from Cam Akers as far as the cutbacks and some of the moves he's put on?
Yeah, I mean, you can see that he's got some experience in this kind of an offense with the outside zone stuff, and he's seen it well, man. It's crazy to think that, all the stuff that he's gone through and he's still able to go out there and ball like that. So it's fun, man. It's fun to watch him run. He's a great teammate, great guy, smart player. And so I think, having that in the room is good for us.
Appreciate it all.
Thank you, Dalton.
Thank you.
There you go. Dalton Schultz, the gaming bro, right here in the locker room. I look, the state of the tight end, it's clear. I mean, you have hopefully your tight end of the future in Cade Stover. You have your tight end of the present in Dalton Schultz, who they brought back. And then you have Brevin Jordan, who they use a little bit different. I have noticed that Brevin Jordan early on in camp was in the red zone a little bit more. And they threw it to him a couple times in the red zone in teams. So maybe he's going to be a little bit more used in those situations. Who knows? But they do have a bunch of tight ends that can do different things. Dalton Schultz seems to be the most consistent of the bunch, and perhaps the one that they trust the most is Dalton Schultz, and CJ and him have made some magical plays. The Atlanta game last year comes to mind. First play after the 2-minute warning, you take the lead. Now the defense doesn't hold up, so kind of gets pushed to the side. But you could kind of hear Schultz and Slowick talking about CJ kind of drew that up to Dalton, and had the defense been able to hold up, the secondary was kind of depleted, then they would have won that game, and we probably would have gotten a little bit more attention. But yeah, it was fun to see Dalton last year. I think the field's going to be open for him. Last season he was relatively productive. I think in fantasy drafts he's going around TE10 type. It's going to be hard to know how many balls he's going to get. There could be some games where he has a couple catches, and there'll be some games where he has 7 catches. There's really no telling. I do know this, the middle of the field and stuff is going to be open up for him. I mean, because you're not going to focus on him. So that'll be interesting. And then you factor in a little Brevin Jordan, little Cade Stover action. It's going to be interesting. In the life of Kobe says pause. Okay, let's pause. For whatever you are talking about. So Cal McNair, he did a little Reddit Q&A yesterday, I guess. I kind of looked over the notes. I didn't see anything crazy. He gave some fans some things. I always wonder if those are planted. I'm kind of like cynical and always think that stuff is fixed. But I guess on Thursday during the joint practice with the Rams, Cal McNair is going to be cooking some burgers. Now you can see him. He kind of did that last year. He's going to be cooking some burgers. Sean Pendergast last year, he might need to wear some sunglasses because he looked like freaking. I mean, his eyes were red when he did that. So he might need to look out. I think that's Ron Hughley right there. But yeah, Cal's cookout, the Reddit and the Cal's cookout thing is going on. So we're it's that time of the year. I guess this is an annual thing. I did not know that this was an annual thing. It is wild. And I love watching Cal and Hannah as a duo. I think they balance off and balance out each other perfectly. I've always been a defender of Cal. I was a defender of Bob. I do notice some people are like on Cal's nuts now that I thought were John Lopez. I'll say that. Not some people. John Lopez is on his nuts now, and some of the stuff he said about his dad when we were hosting together, I thought was kind of weird. But I guess maybe they just don't remember that. I think it's weird. But yeah, it is interesting that, he was kind of an easy target and he was Tommy Boy and all that type of stuff. And now Cal is, among the people doing his thing, cooking burgers and whatnot, maybe some hot dogs too. And he looks like he knows what he's doing too. I mean, that doesn't look like a dude who's up there just, grabbing a tool and just kind of monitoring. He looks like he's really putting some heart into that. Those burgers look like they're made with love, for sure. Will I be there on Thursday? I'll be there on Thursday. I'll be there tomorrow, for sure. Damn, Australia. Shout out to you, my friend. Luke H. from Australia. I love when we go international. So shout out to you for following the Texans out there in the land down under. What time is it in Australia? What time are we looking at in Australia? Hamburger. Okay. Like a Hannah burger? That's cool. Yeah, that's creative as hell. Has anyone said that, or is that an original? Or is that a typo? Because if Cal and Hannah are cooking, you can have a Han burger instead of a ham burger. I'm going to give Chop credit on that. That's really well done right there, my friend. Very well done. Shout out to you, Chop. That's some good stuff right there. So Cal right there with the burgers. Don't know if condiments are included. Don't know what the price is. Don't know if everyone gets a burger or what. I think that would be hard. That would be a lot of stuff going on, although that's a big-ass grill. People ask me this, how early should I get to training camp? Look, when it first started, I kind of rolled my eyes because I would see 713 Sports. Shout out to Ruben and Harley from the Big Lead. I would see those dudes out there, the Lead Houston, and I would be like, what are these jackasses doing? And those are my boys, so I'm not like hating. But what are these dudes doing getting there at like 5 a.m.? I know they're hungover. The hell, they've probably been drinking all night. What are they doing? Are they just doing this for show? Then I actually started getting there because I get there at about 8:20, 8:30 for practice. And I started noticing bigger and bigger lines. And I don't know. I don't want to tell you something and you get there too early or too late. All I can say is that the line's been pretty big. I would say the person to ask would be 713 Sports, Ruben. But I will say early on, it was kind of, man, why are they getting there early? And then it was like, man, maybe they need to. Maybe they need to. I'll be there tomorrow. I thought they were having joint practice. I don't think it's tomorrow, sir. I think that's Thursday. You got to be in line by tonight if you want to be in the first 200. I'll take your friend. Cow hamburger. I mean, everyone else get to munch on it. I don't know what they're. We get in there at 4:45. You should be good. If you're not, then just charge that to the game. That would be crazy. But yeah, Cal's cookout is on Thursday. Cal continuing to make the rounds. I hope he doesn't turn into The Rock or Kevin Hart, where he's just doing too much. I like you being among the people, but I do think it's funny though. Like there's like a certain like everything he does, you just have like, oh my God, he shotgunned a beer. Yeah, he's a normal dude. Like we've been knowing that. So shout out to Cal McNair, Cal's cookout on Thursday. I know Rock WP's been there a few times. You got to get there before 7:30 for a wristband because they definitely run out. So there, yeah, 7, like 4 or 5. I don't know. I wouldn't do that. And I'm a guy who used to go to every sporting event early for 3 hours. That was like my whole thing. Like I could show you, like if y'all just name any random ass 90s, late 90s, 2000s player, I probably had them sign a card before. My stuff is, yeah. So I used to be that dude. But if you told me I had to get to practice at 5 a.m., that's where I kind of got to draw the line. Other stuff going on with the Texans. Be sure to swarm that like button. This was a weird internet flex. And I only bring this up. I try to avoid like complete foolishness on Twitter. I'm in that space, but I'm not in the streets to where I'm just trying to quote tweet and dunk on cats and all that type of stuff. Hopefully there's no squabbles. No, we want squabbles, man. Why not? As long as there's nothing serious. But this was a really weird flex from Tennessee. And I bring this up because these are friends of the show. I actually had them on to talk some crap, embrace the rivalry between the Texans and Titans. Titans Coliseum podcast. Shout out to them. Shout out to Morocco T. Shout out to the other two dudes as well. I like RJ and I like the dude with the beard too. They're nice guys. They're country as hell. They're about what you would expect from Tennessee, but I feel like now it's almost becoming a weird dialogue when it comes to what's going on with the Texans and the Titans. I feel like it's getting really, really weird between those two fan bases, at least, especially on their end. Here was let me see this. Here was the post that they had, and I'm going to pull something else up from them, but this was the post that they had when Cal put up his picture, or the Texans social media put up, and it said H is up. H-Town seems harmless enough. He's got the flat bill. He's got the mustache. He's got the ball, all that. But the Titans Coliseum podcast put this out, and it's gotten a little bit of attention on Texans Twitter. It came across because I think those Titans guys are nice. They're funny. But here it is. It says, look at this. So many Texans fans cry about Titans stealing culture. Okay. I don't disagree with that first sentence. I think that does happen. Telling Titans fans for years, tighten up is the worst slogan in football. Don't even think I've ever heard anyone talk about tighten up. So I don't agree with that one. But yes, there are a lot of Texans fans that cry about the Titans stealing their culture because, I mean, that's literally what happened. Like, I don't know if it's the culture, but it's the uniforms. I don't know about I don't know that anyone thinks that they're copying Houston in Tennessee, but I get what they're trying to say here. The football culture. Don't know how anyone has said anything about tighten up. I've never even heard anyone say that. Only time I hear that is when Morocco T is cussing before games, which is entertaining as hell, by the way. Yet here are the Houston copycats once again using H's up. You mean like tighten up? For a team and fan base that cries about culture stealing so much, just to be a Kansas City name using Titans colors wannabes, generic looking Atlanta Falcons, H's up sounding ass franchise. Does the Texans franchise ever come up with anything on its own? So you can imagine what the comments were there. I'm confused by that one. I have no idea what is going on there. I've seen horns up. I've seen T's up. I've seen A-Town up. Like, I just kind of thought, like, when you put your hand sign up, that's up. I didn't know that tighten up was the original of that. I've heard put the H's up for really my whole life. Put the H up, put your horns up. I don't know. This is just getting, and this is where rivalries get kind of corny. I think that there's a lot of college rivalries that get this way, where you're just talking crap just to talk crap. It's weird. I don't get that at all. So I like those guys. I had no idea what was going on. I did find this interesting, though. So this was from the Locked On podcast. This guy's gotten a lot of smoke from the Tennessee Titans. So this guy is Tic Tac Titans. He's the Locked On guy. Shout out to the Locked On Network. He's breaking down tape, which I hate when guys break down tape. Y'all know me. I don't mind like dudes that are actually doing it, but like the fake film study just really, really annoys me. But he did this with Malik Willis, and this let's just listen in on what he said about Malik Willis. And this is the same Tennessee vibe that you're used to. So look how pissed he looks, man. Look how angry he looks. I mean, we're talking about a preseason game. My man is pissed. Look at him putting the arrows up there. He thinks he's Ron Jaworski. All right, let's hear this breakdown here.
This man right here comes on a blitz, you are insta throw. Right.
If he comes on a blitz, you are insta throw. Okay.
Right to the seam. Immediate. Because look where this safety is. If this safety doesn't drop down here, there's so much space right here. Okay. And for whatever reason, Malik just doesn't throw the ball. Watch. Takes it. He's looking right at it.
Dude,
he's looking right
throw?
at it, man. Look at all of this room. You have to hit that. It's 3rd and long. You have to hit this. He just doesn't hit it. He's got time to hit that. Now he's looking at the run.
All right. So anyway, he breaks this tape down and all that. And then Luke McCown, the brother of Josh McCown, formerly of multiple Texans coaching searches, I guess he had some time or something, because he put a whole damn essay. First off, buddy, no, he's not. Nothing about this. Blah, blah, blah. I got a sports dong. Da, da, da. He's looking hot. Da, 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 da. It's hell of a lot, right? Then he continues. Last thing here, just because us QBs got to have each other's backs. Go ahead and show the easy back slot shot of the film. You didn't mention that after Malik didn't blah, blah, blah. Coaches in high school in particular, as your seasons kick off, good luck and have fun. Hope you win a bunch of ball games. Then this kind of continued. He went back to it. He's still going on this. This guy says it's been 3 off seasons. How many does he need? Talking about Malik. Again, he has a new OC in each of them. Blah 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 blah. So man, it's been rough for the Tennessee content on those streets. You just had. I mean, do you think that when he posted that, he was like, you know what? I'm gonna do my film study on Malik Willis, and that guy sucks. Malik Willis. Look at this guy. When he blitzes, you gotta hit him up the middle. What are we doing here? And then look, he's throwing the ball out of bounds. It's been 3 off seasons. I can't believe that Malik Willis stinks. You think when he was doing that he was like anticipated that Luke McCown was gonna write a damn novel about his breakdown? I mean, I get it that these quarterbacks, and this is why I don't do it. I sat in one professional film session, and I was like, I did it for a week. And this is with a guy who had a Super Bowl ring, and he was watching tape, and he invited me, and he took me under his wing. And as a radio guy, as like a media type and stuff like that, I wasn't like, I was just sitting there like, man, like this is terrible. Like this is boring. I can't do this any justice. So I'll let people stay in their lane. Because I respect lanes. Like I don't like when athletes think they can just come talk on the radio at all. I think it's lame. I think it's whack, especially when they don't put anything into it and they don't have a respect for it. I don't like when writers just come on and get on the radio and don't try to get better. Some of them last longer than others. Hell, some of them last 2 decades, 3. But the film study thing is crazy. So I get when the athlete is kind of frustrated by it, but sometimes I don't even think the athlete is right. I think he's just trying a little bit too hard. But then Luke McCown was like, yeah, and by the way, if you ever want to learn the game, I'll teach you the game. Like, do you have a life? Let me find this tweet. This was the worst one of all of it. Let me see this. So, and I love the McCowns, man. I was on the McCown train. This isn't Josh McCown. This is Luke McCown. So he sends 12 novels. Then he says this. Let me find this tweet. Okay, yeah, he didn't say hot. Oh, here you go. I'd be glad to help you learn the game and help you understand things from the QB perspective a little bit better. What are you doing, man? Like, so the Locked On Titans guy had a bad film study, so you'd be bad. Like, what are you doing? Like, I always feel like the McCowns, like the good thing about them is that they always have a lot of crap going on. Like how do you have all this time? I'd be glad to help you learn the game and help you understand things better. He's talking about literally just a film study from a Locked On dude. Like, look at this guy. You're telling me
you are
taking this
insta throw to the seat.
Insta throw right to the
immediate. Because look where this safety is. If this safety doesn't drop down here, there's so much space right here. Okay, and for whatever reason, Malik just doesn't throw the ball.
Throw the ball, Malik.
Watch.
Look,
takes it. He's looking right at it. He's looking right at it.
It's
man.
right there.
Look at all of this room.
Whoa! Look at that circle.
You have to hit that. It's 3rd and long. You have to hit this.
Come on, man. Hit it.
He just doesn't hit it.
Come on, dude.
He's got time to hit that.
Oh, my God.
Now he's looking at the rush.
Collapsing.
Now it's too late.
Oh, no.
Now it's a ruined play. Like,
oh,
this is the frustrating part with Malik Willis. This is
terrible.
what drives people insane. Just throw the ball.
Throw it.
I mean,
what professional football player watches this and says, you know what? I need to write a novel on this, and I'm going to teach you the perspective of the game. There's no winners here, guys. sometimes, you know what? Matter of fact, I invented the slime off. I'm going to give this slime off. This is going to be a co-slime off. This is the slime off is going to, it's actually going to be a 3-way slime off. Not, you know what? This kid's just doing his thing. He's just doing his Locked On. He's not even nominated. Okay. Luke McCown and the Titans Coliseum guys for that post. That's this week's slime off, brought to you by nobody. So yeah, I understand the player's perspective, but I'll be glad to teach you the game. I'll teach you the ins and outs, man. I don't have anything going on. I got a lot of free time in my life. I'm Luke McCown. I played in the NFL long time ago. I can teach you how to play some football. Watch some tape. Shout out to the McCown. Shout out to Josh. I hope Josh gets it going. I'm big Josh McCown fan. Big on Luke too. Kenya, man, y'all are just trolling me now. You guys are just trolling me now. Someone said he's in Australia. This dude says he's from Kenya. You guys need to stop. Now you are just going to be mentioning random spots. you gotta cut that out. Rock, this is my point, Rock. Like, this is my point right here. And this is what I'm saying. Like, when it says watch tape, like, as a radio guy, I go into the, like, if I'm doing a radio show, I'm going in at like 7:30, 7:45 for a 10 o'clock show. I'm cutting audio. I'm trimming it up. I'm doing the rundown. I'm doing all this stuff. I'm writing teases. If we have to adjust, we have to adjust. You figure that out. There's some guys who say they're watching tape. You're not watching tape, brother. And there's a lot of guys like that Titans guy where you're just watching the play and then you're circling and all that type of stuff. You have to watch the play at least 6 times, and you have to do it from 6 different angles. That's not something that I need to do. And I used to have like guys that were former coaches or whatever that I work with. You don't want to get better, man. That is not my lane. That is not my lane. And don't talk to me about getting better when you're coming on smacking into the mic and doing all that. Shout out to Brian Broaddus. He has gotten better though. He's out there in Dallas, Green Bay Super Bowl champ. Love him. But yeah, it's just some of the fake film study. I can see why that's better. Okay, so you're there in vacation. You're in Kenya in vacation. So we got someone in Australia and someone in Kenya. Shout out to you. Which place would you rather go? Would you rather go to Australia? What's in Kenya? What are you doing in Kenya, Techno Stone? Like, what do you do? What's the vibe in Kenya? Australia, it seems like you go to like a kangaroo boxing match or something. Do they have those? Did I make that up? Or do they just randomly box in the wild? They have kangaroo boxing matches. They got, did they actually have onion rings in Australia? Like Outback, the Bloomin' Onion? Who knows? Appreciate y'all for coming through. So some more stuff that's going down around here. And this is kind of just a fun bag because the Texans have been off today. I'll be at practice tomorrow at 9. JJ Watt, he got some love from Pajama Pant Nation. Mike Tomlin with some nice things to say about JJ Watt. He tweeted the following, quote, "What's better than having 1 Watt on the field? Having 2." And then put a picture of him and JJ out there. Look at JJ trimming up. Maybe he's not trying to play football. But Pajama Pant Nation, JJ Watt doing his thing. And the reason that I call Pittsburgh Pajama Pant Nation, this was brought to my attention by my boy in Cleveland. In Pittsburgh, they wear pajama pants everywhere. Funerals, weddings, cocktail parties, the grocery store, the gas station. A lot of pajama pants there. The flannel ones, not even like the sweatpants. They just rock a lot of pajama pants there. Hell of a lot. But yeah, I appreciate folks from out in Kenya and Australia. That's really, really big. We got some more praise. Texans got some more love. Now, I don't know about this because, quite frankly, if you've been following the offseason, and that's kind of one of my favorite times to do this and cover the team, anyone can do it in season. It's easy to develop talking points, but I think that's where the character's built, like in the offseason, not even free agency, but like after that. Diana Rossini kicked everyone's ass this year. And she's all in on the Texans. Now, part of me says I cover this squad, so it's a really easy squad to be all in on because they've put together a pretty good squad with a very solid young nucleus of players who are likely going to improve this year, along with additions that could put them over the top and are nice complementary pieces to those young pieces. And oh, by the way, you have what looks like could potentially be an elite quarterback and an elite coach. And those are two of the things that are most important to possess. So part of me says, okay, yeah, it's hard not to be all in. Other part of me says, someone's given Diana Rossini these stories. So even if there weren't that reason for optimism, she would be all in. Maybe that's the cynic in me, but sometimes I'm cynical, damn it. Here's Diana Rossini, though, of The Athletic. She's with Dan Patrick. She's breaking it all down.
But I just was watching going, who is going to
So you're all
stop?
in. They're a Super Bowl contender.
I am all in on the Houston Texans, just based on what they're building. Okay, something even simple and small. This is tiny, but this is important. And it's been told to me by many people, it's important in the big grand scheme of things. When they make good plays during the preseason, when guys are scoring touchdowns, backups, players that we may never even see again in the NFL, the way the sideline, the way the starters are running down into the end zone and showing that support. Because what that is, that's culture, right? That's DeMeco Ryans. That's him saying we are going to be there for everybody on this team, not just the superstars. And I felt it when I was there. I had conversations. Stephon Diggs told me this has just been refreshing for him.
All right, so there you go. And I actually asked DeMeco about this. Let's hear DeMeco talking about this. So, man, I think she's actually witnessing it. It used to drive me nuts when James Palmer would say, and I heard this and it came from a press conference, but I actually asked DeMeco about this support on the sidelines. This is what he said when I asked him at camp early on.
It seems like there's a lot of intensity on the sidelines from the starters when they're not in. They're encouraging the backups. I anticipate that might happen Thursday. Is that something you encourage, or is it just kind of a natural thing?
What I want from our team, I want our team to create a tight bond where we know we're competing. Everybody's competing to make the team, but we never lose sight of helping the man next to you, right? And creating that positive energy, right? Encouraging one another, uplifting each other. That's what we're all about here. That's what our team is all about. So I love to hear the communication on the sideline from our veterans to our younger players. Like, that means everything to me because I know they truly care about the man next to them and they care about their success.
Miko right there talking about that, and Diana noticed it. So, shout out to Diana, man. She kicked some ass. It came out of nowhere. She was beast moding fools on the beat, breaking stories, man. Got to give her credit. We were keeping the scoreboard, and she did it. So, shout out to her. Shout out to all the film studiers out there. What do y'all always ask me this. What do you think the record will be this year? I don't know. We'll figure that out a little closer. I don't know what the record's going to be. Around 10, 11 maybe. I don't know. Who knows, man? We're just kind of loosening up right now. I'm not sitting here trying to roll the sleeves up and make predictions. Nah, I'm just messing with you. I would probably say 10-7 maybe. Although the division's going to be tough. But 10-7, maybe 11. I don't know how good they're going to run the ball. Who knows? They could be really, really good. I don't think the floor is very. High. What's the Texans over under on wins? I don't know. I think you could probably look that up. I'm not sure. Look her upper. But yeah, it's somewhere out there. It's probably around 9-10. So I told you about the new food that they're adding. Chancellor Johnson. Love this guy. KPRC2. DJ Bieniemy going to make an appearance. Chancellor Johnson decided to review it. And man, come on, Chancellor, get your own bit. He's doing the Keith Lee thing. Let's get the reviews from KPRC2's Chancellor Johnson on this stuff. And I don't see the cheesecake pretzel on his plate, so I'm a little bit disappointed. That would have been the only thing I got, quite honestly. I don't need any lemon pepper buffalo tenders at a football game. I'm good there. Those tacos, no thank you. Wonton nachos, no thank you. I'm just going to get the normal nachos and maybe a hot dog with ketchup and mustard. But, hey, let's hear what Chancellor had to say.
I got it. Let's try it and rate it 1 through 10.
Come on, man. DJ.
We'll start with the lemon pepper buffalo tenders. Not mad at it. And a lemon pepper, a lot of buffalo. Scale of 1 to 10. Let's do 8 out of 10.
8? Come on, brother. That was not an 8 out of 10 reaction. Look at that. Look how generous he's been. That is someone who knows how to appreciate some free food. Look at this bite. That ain't no 8 out of 10 bite right there.
Yeah, that ain't an 8 out of 10.
Let's do.
Come on,
8 out of 10. All right, so now
not even gonna get an honest.
We'll do the teriyaki waffle fry.
Teriyaki waffle. What are we doing here? What's wrong with just the stadium French fries?
Chicken on there, got some queso, and a fry. Here's what it looks like.
This is what a clown looks like.
Anyways,
let's get your red nose. Let's get the shoes. Let's get it all. Stealing another man's bit. What happened?
Anyways.
What happened to pride?
Anyways.
What happened to pride? What happened to being original? Somebody else does this already.
Speaking of original, it's food. It's not bad. Scale of 1 to 10.
Scale 1 to 10. This
9.
impersonation on a scale of 1 to 10 is a 0.
All right, so now this is definitely.
He gave the fries a 9. Come on.
They're my favorite so far.
9.
Burrito tacos with bang bang chicken. Let's do the chicken first.
Bang bang chicken. That's gonna be too spicy for him.
Let's go. Not mad at that at all. Now time for the burrito tacos. Not my favorite. Probably my least favorite, honestly. Not really a big burrito guy though, so scale of 1 to 10. I'll give it a 4. It's dry. Flavor not really moving me like that. 4 out of 10.
4. Okay.
All right, so this is the star player of this whole thing. True barbecue.
Yeah, you finna eat that? You finna eat the pickles?
I'm gonna try all of it.
You eat pickles?
Anyways,
you gonna have them under your tongue?
That's crazy.
That's crazy. This man's TikTok.
True barbecue brisket.
Yeah, that's a 10, dude.
Make sure you tell the audience that you never had.
Before I was rudely interrupted. The brisket, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's the one. I could have told you that before. Truth barbecue. I didn't get in Truth barbecue at the game either, though. There's a certain thing going on, but yeah, that's the food review from Chancellor. So there we go. Texans back on the field tomorrow, which means you get a live practice update at around 12:30, 1 o'clock. Same thing at night, and then the next day, better than the preseason game because you're going to have the starters getting their work in, perhaps against some Rams. Now, there's news that Matthew Stafford might not practice. They kind of got him on a pitch count type of thing. We know Stafford's always banged up, always hurt, but he always plays hurt. That's why he's got so much respect around the league, especially from CJ Stroud. Said he's one of the most underrated quarterbacks in football. So there we go. Appreciate everyone for coming through. Be sure to subscribe, like, right along. Always remember, whether you're fake studying film, whether you're in Pajama Pant Nation, whether you're the gaming bro tight end, whether you're Luke McCown and apparently have all the time in the world, when it comes to this Texan stuff, we're all in it together. Thanks for coming through. Swarm that like button, subscribe, like, right along.
We number one, you don't need to try your luck. Locker room, yeah, we in the locker room. Texas talk, yeah, you know what we about to do. Localize, every angle's what we really do. We the source, we the pulse of the city too.